Happy WrestleMania 36 Part 1/A section Roman numeral L1/2 day, everyone! I can't wait for WrestleMania 36 Part 2-9B tomorrow, because Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, The Hunger Games, Mockingjay, WWE are finally realizing what major Hollywood studios figured out years ago. You split your final movie in 2 parts to make more money from a slightly compromised dramatic structure. But that's not the only way WrestleMania 36 will be like a cash-grabbing final part of a franchise movie series. For the first time ever, WrestleMania has been pre-recorded, meaning WWE can edit out bits they don't like. And now fans on Twitter have caught one instance of that already, with WWE removing a controversial John Cena promo from before last night's episode of SmackDown. Before SmackDown went on air, WWE posted a WWE.com interview with Kyla Braxton and John Cena to their social media channels. In it, Cena cuts a worked shoot promo where he calls Bray Wyatt's Fiend character Husky Harris in a mask, a reference to Bray's first main roster gimmick, one that WWE continuity tried to ignore, and then seemingly shot on other WWE stars backstage. I'm honestly kind of fed up with situations of people who think they are entitled to get chance after chance after chance after chance to succeed. I'm sick of hearing a certain group of WWE superstars walk around and say, I deserve this or I deserve that. And maybe Bray's the first name on that list. Who do you think is in Cena's certain group of WWE superstars with a bad attitude? Let me know in the comments down below whether you think this is in kayfabe or not, because I'll be replying from out of nowhere. While this was similar to Cena's promo on The Fiend a few weeks ago on SmackDown, it seems WWE decided he went too far, as the clip was deleted from all their social media accounts just hours afterwards, and replaced with another take of Cena appearing much happier and only teasing his strong words for his segment on SmackDown yesterday night. There was no mention of Husky Harris and no mention of the certain group of WWE superstars. And neither did Cena's very good go-home promo on SmackDown, where he instead focused on the Fiend spreading fear and that he's gonna squash him. It's the latest example of a part-time WWE legend shooting on the current locker room. On Monday's Raw, The Undertaker cut a promo where he effectively buried the current roster by saying AJ Styles just waited to come to WWE after the real stars of The Rock, Stone Cold, and oddly Booker T had left, which implies the wrestlers who've made their names over the last decade aren't as good. Dave Meltzer revealed the Dead Man's promo actually annoyed a number of people backstage for that very reason. And on Wednesday's episode of Corey Graves' WWE-sanctioned After the Bell podcast, Cena was at it again, saying the current product needs what I'm not sure it can produce. It needs a frontman or woman, and that's what will be able to define what the era is. Which isn't the most positive endorsement of the wrestlers WWE have pushed as the face of its brands, like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Becky Lynch. Perhaps that's because, as so often has been said, the WWE locker room walk on eggshells, afraid of Vince McMahon suddenly deciding he no longer sees value in them, as has reportedly happened to Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, and Humberto Carrillo. If only there was some common trend between them. But for a change, Vince's latest rule is the right one, as he's considering leaking WrestleMania results a sackable offense. Thanks for your support on Patreon. No one names their kid this anymore. Larry. WrestleMania 36 was filmed over a week ago on Wednesday the 25th and Thursday the 26th of March, including some overnight recordings from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. But for an industry famous for its leaks, not a single spoiler has come out from the tapings. Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated has revealed this is because WWE has internally decreed leaking information is a fireable offense. And as there's such a limited number of people working on these tapings, it will be much easier to uncover the mole. That hasn't stopped someone telling the very reliable WrestleVotes all the results though. Thankfully for the leaker's job, the Twitter account hasn't posted any spoilers. The Sports Illustrated article also reveals why Vince McMahon and didn't just cancel or postpone WrestleMania, even though pretty much everyone else in the company reportedly thought going ahead was a bad idea. Barrasso writes cancelling the event would run in direct opposition to all of McMahon's principles and sensibilities. And with the remainder of the year being booked, with no definite end date to the Steve Corino restrictions in sight, Vince went ahead with the Performance Center tapings to control the environment he can control. Things you can control like telling fans that one of the biggest WrestleMania matches, Goldberg vs Roman Reigns for the Blue Universal title, won't be going ahead because Roman refused to wrestle at the tapings over perfectly understandable health concerns, which WWE knew about in the middle of last week, and both Reigns and Triple H have publicly admitted as such. But Raw and SmackDown have still been promoting the match as if it's still going to happen. But as Triple H told ESPN this week, WWE have a unique plan for how Roman's absence will be revealed on SmackDown, implying a huge angle where Braun Strowman will replace Reigns to fight Goldberg. And last night, they did just that with a tweet. They revealed Roman's getting replaced by Strowman with a tweet. A tweet with no explanation on why Reigns is no longer in the match. Classy move, WWE. At least the rest of SmackDown was actually pretty good. Miz TV opened the episode, which turned into a brawl between Miz, Morrison, the Usos, and the New Day. I'm glad that match is also definitely still happening, and I can look forward to it. Spoiler, it's not, as the Miz was sent home sick during the tapings, and it just became a singles ladder match. Up next was a triple threat between Lacey Evans, Naomi, and Tamina, with Sasha Banks and Bayley on commentary, which Tamina won in pretty dominating fashion, following Banks and Bayley distractions. Sasha and Bayley tried to become Tamina's friend afterwards, but she beat them up too. WWE are obviously building her up as the 5 ways monster heel to overcome. Unfortunately, a couple of weeks of solid booking isn't enough to cover up for, checks notes, 10 years of bad booking. The retro match of choice this week was Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 24. I'm sorry, I love you, Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 24, but this had no connection to any feud or storyline currently being built for WrestleMania 36, like all the other archive matches Raw or SmackDown have played so far. Michael Cole is still telling us it's Elias versus Corbin at WrestleMania. I have no reason to believe that isn't the case. And then he just dropped in, it's now Goldberg defending his Blue Universal Championship against Braun Strowman this weekend, as if Reigns was never a part of this storyline. Oh, so that's the angle Triple H said he didn't want to spoil in his ESPN interview. The Steve Corino pandemic is unprecedented, and there is no perfect way to deal with the upheaval it's caused in the world or WWE. But even with that proviso, this is one of the promotion's most blatant, transparent, flagrant abuses of false advertising, deliberately done to mislead fans, using the card subject to change bullcrap because they quite clearly never had any plan in place. At best, it's ridiculously lazy storytelling, revealing a complete indifference to your own product's quality. At worst, it's a con job, tricking fans who don't keep up with the dirt sheet news into thinking Reigns was still wrestling on the card. Completely and wholly unforgivable. With all that said, the SmackDown hacker reveal was actually really cool. Combining two of the most engrossing parts of SmackDown in recent months, the broadcast glitches started to be accompanied by the text, "The truth will be heard," which paid off in Dolph Ziggler beating up Tucker too much in their match. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Otis all ran out to stop Ziggler's prolonged beatdown of Tucker, when the glitches cut to a shadowy, hooded figure who, in a distorted voice, said, "Were you paying attention? I told you the truth will be heard," before turning back to his hacker panel desk thing. Solomon Crow return confirmed, and revealing secret footage proving Sonya and Dolph planned this whole thing. It was Sonya who had texted Otis saying Mandy was running late, working with Dolph to break the couple up after Otis cost them a victory months ago. This was really well thought out, and a great payoff to two very good stories, setting up the next chapter of the feud, and the possibility the hacker glitch man will reveal more truths in WWE. But not that Roman isn't in the Blue Universal title match. Could have done with you a week ago, mate. Daniel Bryan beat Shinsuke Nakamura via DQ in a great match to set up Bryan versus Sami Zayn for WrestleMania, and the main event saw a fantastic promo from Cena accepting Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse match, whatever that is. It was then that Wyatt's dolls, their action figures, started appearing at ringside, saying they were going to play with Cena forever inside the funhouse, for the Fiend to then appear on the crow's nest. And then, just like a horror movie, the atmospheric ringing sounds built to a jump scare of Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt appearing next to Cena and yelling, "Let me in." It's weird how I found Broken Matt Hardy's AEW teleportation dumb, but Bray Wyatt teleportation, cool. I guess that's my classic AEW bias, but also because there is an explanation grounded in reality as to how Bray could get away with the lights just cutting off and him doing a runner, rather than the impossible appearance of Matt visually teleporting in front of our eyes. Shut up, Vanguard 1. That teleportation projection stuff is retconning. That was SmackDown. Let me know what you thought of the episode by pressing the I above my head to vote in the poll. This was a solid show that effectively built towards its WrestleMania matches, but the whole Braun replacing Roman thing is genuinely disgusting, making this show smack bang in the middle. Indie Mania Day 1 will premiere later, where you can help support all the indie wrestling promotions fighting for survival right now. Set a reminder by clicking the video on the right. And want to know 10 other wrestling shows that survived real-life disasters? Click Adam Blompier's latest list below that. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.